All right, man. Let's jump into the NFL. I'm gonna start with Monday night's game because this is your guy. You went and bought the jersey. The
I
Pastronaut.
had that jersey last year, bro. I
Okay.
knew. Yes.
The Pastronaut failure to launch. It was a rough go for him last night against the Chicago Bears. 4 turnovers. They were all interceptions, right? I don't watch bad football, so I'm not going to act like I watched the game. I caught the final couple of series. I like Josh Dobbs, and I tweeted this out, and I'm going to say it here publicly. I hope that Netflix, I know they had their quarterback series. I hope they made a in-season pivot to follow Josh Dobbs because his story this year has been really interesting. Getting traded, a couple of weeks before, was the week before the season started, to Arizona. He documented, he's like, look, I'm leaving. Basically, I'm taking my draws. That's it. I'm taking draws, and the clothes on my back, and I'm going to a new city, and me and my agent have figured it out as we go. He gets traded again, right? Goes to Minnesota. Obviously, when gets called into duty, you know the story about not knowing anybody's name. It's a fascinating story. And to me, Josh Dobbs should make, I think Chase Daniels signed like a 3-year, $30 million deal as a backup quarterback. I think he could probably command that in the open market next year to be somebody's backup quarterback because he is the prototypical. This is my backup QB theory. Josh Dobbs can win you 2-3 games if you need it. If your guy's hurt and he's going to be IR for 4 weeks, Josh Dobbs can go 2-2, maybe 3-1. He's not going to be a guy who can go a full season and carry your team to the playoffs and beyond. Great guy, smart guy, but that's his ceiling. And there's nothing wrong with that. So, your thoughts on your guy, man. I know, Vol for life and all that good stuff.
Yeah, no, I mean, I've known what Josh Dobbs was. But it's one of those situations where you hope that when he came to Minnesota that he's thrown into a situation where he can grow into having a good team around him and get better. You know what I mean? I mean, look at Bryce Young right now. He's 1-9 or 1-10. What is he? 1-10?
1-10.
Got you. When we're talking about actually playing NFL games, I understand Josh Dobbs has been in the league for 7 years. So he's been practicing. He's been in preseason games. He's been doing all this kind of stuff, whatever. He hasn't started any games until last year, I think, in the Titans.
For the Titans, yep.
The lights haven't been on him any more than 8 total times. I think he played 6 or 7 games for the Cardinals. And then, and so as much as you're like, hey, he's a veteran, he's 7 years in or whatever, I still think that he's in that. I mean, he's on it. This is a month he's been with the team, The thing about Josh Dobbs, though, is like some of these turnovers are like stuff that like rookies. You can't have the mental, right? That's where I'm like, no, you're too smart for that. Take that sack. Like, what are we doing right here? You know what I mean? Like, and that's what it's tough, And 2 of the interceptions weren't his fault, but all interceptions are all quarterback's fault. We know that. We can't just flip back. Two of them hit receivers dead in the hands. And
then it's the receiver's fault. Then
yeah. He hit Jordan Addison perfect. Boom, right off his hands, interception. Then he throws another one to another guy. It was tight coverage, but it still hit him in the hands, tip ball, interception, or whatever. The other 2 though are I'm getting sacked. Let me just do this, and it's like, bro. Like,
the last one was egregious.
Yeah, you've been around too long for that. Like, what are we doing? And like, bro, you're playing against a team that can't move the damn ball. The other thing was like, we know wins and losses is everything. They're this much away from him being 3-1, and us still talking about the Pastronaut, even though he threw 4 interceptions or whatever. The fact they lost the game is a big deal, but the fact they lost the game also goes on Kevin O'Connell. Is that his name, Kevin?
Yep.
I mean, the guy's going for it on 4th and 10 at the 50-yard line when the other team can't even move the ball more than 30 yards every possession. It's like, bro, punt the ball, put them inside their own 5. Like, like they're not gonna. And it's a field goal game, so it was a wild game. But I'll say this: like, I'm with you on like the whole idea of him playing and starting a whole season. He's not there. He's not there to get you to the playoffs. You know what I mean? Do I think that that he possesses the talent to get better. I don't think he is what he is right now. I don't think he's played enough to be able to say he is what he is. It's a wrap.
I think he is what he is.
Really?
I think he is. Like I said, I think.
So you think Bryce Young is what he is?
No, because he's a rookie, right? They're still
but I mean, still played more. He's played more games than Josh Dobbs.
He's a rookie, and I think Frank Reich, as a play caller, as a offensive designer, is like no. I've seen enough. Granted, I'm not breaking down no Panthers tape, none of that. But the people who get paid to do this for a living, I've seen enough clips of them on the internet going, "What is this scheme? Who is he supposed to throw the ball to?" You basically called, like, I don't know if you've seen that Mr. Coach 30, where he did the one on the.
I didn't watch it,
but like he does one on the Panthers, and like the owner David Tepper comes in and he looks at like they have like on this whiteboard like an offensive play call, and it's just 4 curls. But the funny part of that is like you've seen people go, he's got these receivers running 4 curls. And they're all covered. What is Bryce supposed to do at this point? Like they'll freeze the shot at the top of his drop. They've all curled back, and they're all here's the receiver, here's the defender, and he's like, where's he supposed to throw the ball? So
I think that in Josh Dobbs' case is like I don't think he's being used to his strengths right now. You know what I mean? Like there was not one called quarterback run the whole game for Josh Dobbs. Not one.
More read option.
He's not getting out of the pocket. You know what I mean? He's standing in the pocket, and he's one of those guys that, man, some of these quarterbacks, I'm like, run. But they want to be known as like the guy that can just stand in there and sling that hoe. No, go. You know what I mean? Like that's what your feet are for, you know? And so like he's doing a lot of stuff that is standing in the pocket, taking hits, throwing the ball and crossing routes and different things like that. And it's like, no, man, get this guy out into some space. Like run some, but I think that's going to come with some more, you got the bye week. I really wish Justin Jefferson would have been back this week. I really don't. I know he's like, I'm not playing until I'm healthy. But when I was going into the Broncos game, now the Broncos are obviously a little bit better than what I thought they were. I know you like they're fool's gold or whatever, but I do think that they're playing better than what I thought. Going into Broncos, Bears, and then they got the Raiders after this bye week. Like I was like, yo, Dobbs got 2 wins, and he's got the Broncos, the Bears, and the Raiders. Like bro, like Minnesota should be 9-4, instead of whatever they are net, And so I do think if Justin Jefferson gets out there and suits up, like it provides just a much better. I mean, Addison, he's not the number 1 yet,
Right. So. Yeah. We'll see. I know Kevin O'Connell said he's going to be evaluating everything during the bye, so you might get Jaren Hall back as a starter. I would stick with Dobbs for 1 more game. I think you got to see how he does once he has Justin Jefferson, who they have activated. They activated him today off of IR, so he will be back after the bye. If he can't get a connection, granted, still, right, it's not like he's been throwing to Jefferson all year long.
Yeah.
But if they can't get it going with Justin Jefferson in there, drawing additional coverage, obviously he likes TJ Hawkinson.
So first play of the game, he put that ball in the money on Jordan Addison. I don't know if you saw it. It was a 50-yard bomb. They went play action. And, it was a good defense. It was a PBU or whatever. But if that's Justin Jefferson, I mean, they got first and goal from the 5, and it's let's make moves. But I'll tell you this much. If they go back to Hall, we didn't see much of him. We saw, 1 drive or whatever. But I'll tell you this much. He's out because of a concussion. Max Crosby going to get that guy out with another concussion. I don't think you want to go to some – I don't know what Hall's like. I don't know if he's a scrambler or what.
He can use his –
with Max Crosby out there, you're going to need somebody because that man going to put you right back in the tent.
Keep your head on the swivel, young man. That's all I got to say. Be aware where 98 is at all times.
All times.
So last thing I say about that game again, I think this was the game from a Bears perspective where they said, we're taking Caleb Williams with the number 1 overall pick.
Yeah.
I just don't think Justin Fields, I think they're going to move on. I think they're going to trade him. They'll get something back, maybe a 3rd-round pick, maybe 4th-round pick. But I think this was the game where they went, yeah, we're done here. I just don't think it's going to work.
I seen that man get slammed on his head one of his players had to get him up. Do you remember like earlier in the season when he was rattling and he was like walking back to the huddle and his
Chiefs
player
game.
like, nah, young man, like you know what I mean? Like that
Chiefs
same
game.
thing happened last night, and like they didn't take him out or nothing. I said, "Oh, the Bears don't give a damn about this kid." Like when you look, he threw a pass like 2 plays later that was so off, and then they zoomed in on his helmet. I said, "Yo, he's not in there. He's somewhere else right now."
It's like that Snickers commercial. Who are you?
Yeah.
I'm Batman. Like my man is gone. Yeah, I saw some tweets about it. I didn't see the play, but I did see some tweets about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think this is the game where they decided, yeah, we're probably if they were leaning one way or the other, to me, this is the game that said, yeah, we're going Caleb Williams or Drake May. I could see Chicago being afraid of taking another improviser, even though Caleb Williams is a better improviser than Justin Fields.
They can't do that, man. They can't.
I can see them. I can see them talking themselves out of it.
Mitch Trubisky didn't work for him, and he wasn't really an improviser.
Well, I mean, he was also from Carolina too, so there's also that. There's also that. So, but yeah. All right, man. So let's keep moving on. The Chiefs, is the offense fixed?
No, the offense is not fixed. But we are wearing championship gear today. You know, where's that? All right, cool. So yeah, because we're back on the straight and narrow. No, the offense is not fixed. I mean, the offense got Rashee Rice more targets. The offense, was decent in the red zone. The offense got things going there for the last 3 quarters, second, third, and fourth. Well, actually, is it 14-0 at halftime?
It was 14-14 at halftime.
Okay,
they were down 14-0, and they scored on 2 straight drives to close the half.
Yeah. But no, it's still not fixed. But that was a step in the right direction, and I do think Rashee Rice needs to become a much bigger part of of the targets, getting him the ball. He had 2 drops yesterday too, but they kept going to him. You know what I mean? And I think that was key. And they did it against a pretty decent defense. I don't think it was I think under a lot of pressure, they got a pretty decent defense over there with the Raiders. Yeah. But it's still the Raiders, man. I fully expected the Chiefs to go in there and beat them by double digits.
I think the offense is on its way to being fixed. I do think Rashee Rice needs to be a part. Like if he's not getting 7 to 8 targets a game, someone needs to be held accountable.
I didn't think I'd ever say this, but I'm liking how they're using Clyde Edwards-Helaire, and he's running a little better and a little different than in the past. You know what I mean? And so I mean, I don't know. He's running with like something to prove, and I'm not mad at him getting in there and getting his 5 or 6 touches a game.
So again, I was asleep. I went to sleep after the early game. So when I woke up, the Chiefs were down 14-0. And then I saw like the first drive that scored a touchdown. Somebody went like a tweet of them crying. It was a crying meme of Clyde Edwards-Helaire was the spark on that drive. And I was like, really? Like that really happened? So it would be poetic justice for him on his way out the door, because the Chiefs are not going to keep him.
No.
For him to actually start playing like the first round pick, they actually invested in him on his way out the door. Dang, I lost my train of thought. No, I was going to say about this. Oh, actually, let me bring this note up. My uncle says this about Justin Fields. Fields has no O-line or receivers. The O-line could be better, but DJ Moore is a really good wide receiver.
And Mooney's not a terrible too.
Komet's is a good quality tight end. They have developing weapons in that system. You just got to have the quarterback to give them the ball. All right, so let's keep it moving. You mentioned this before we get to Eagles Niners, because I think that's the game of the weekend. MVP award. You mentioned this about it being. Can the NFL just create a quarterback of the year award, and then we can have a true MVP discussion? Because to me, I saw Harrison. Sorry, is it Harrington? No, it's Harrington. It's Harrington. Not It rhymes, so it just kind of throws me off that it rhymes like that. He goes, it's a shame that we're forcing a QB to win the MVP this year. And I'm like, exactly. Because to me, the favorites for MVP should be Tyreek Hill, Christian McCaffrey, AJ Brown, If you want to get a defensive guy in there, you can go Myles Garrett. You can actually go DaRon Bland if you really want to. I mean, because 5 pick sixes in one season is kind of crazy, by the way. But if you're gonna go non-QB division, those 4 guys should be in the top 5 odds. And right now, the top 5 odds. Who am I missing?
Trent Williams. That man is valuable, bro.
Trent Williams is very valuable.
Man is valuable.
He's very valuable. But I look at the way that Jalen Hurts was trash for 3 quarters.
Oh, yeah. Then he threw 3 touchdown passes and 4 passes. And then all of a sudden,
in the fourth quarter,
3 for 11 for 44 yards or something like that until he got there. I said, yo, what? It's like, you do this in college, you're out the Heisman race. Sorry.
Patrick Mahomes is still up there. Tua's up there. I'm trying to think who are the other 2 quarterbacks. Now, I'll say this. Dak has been playing great. But to me, the MVP comes down to when we get to the end of the season, how well are you playing at the end of the season? And to me, it doesn't take into account the totality.
Yeah.
Where Tyreek, again,
3% of the season, Dak was like, you know what I mean? And it's like, how do we just cancel that?
Yeah. And so I'm just like, you can't have an award where I get it. Quarterback's the most important position on the field. You're not going to get any argument from me there. But when the quarterback's play has been subpar, even from the quarterbacks we expect to be good, and you have these other people, Tyreek Hill might go for 2,000 yards in a season, which is insane. He needs to average 112 yards for his final 6 games to meet that mark. You had A.J. Brown with 6 games in a row of 125 yards a game. Christian McCaffrey is probably going to go for 1,800 to almost 2,000 all-purpose yards and maybe
16 to 20 touchdowns. What?
Dog. Myles Garrett is out here playing basketball. He's going, hezzy, twing, fillet. Like he's doing all of this before the snap of the ball in second quarter. It's crazy to me that you do not have any of these non-QBs in the MVP race because we're just so.
But I do think they got 2. I do think they got Tyreek Hill. I think if you were to legitimately ask, and they did a top 5, that they would have Tyreek Hill up there.
No, I got to see if I can find it. It was on The Athletic. They had the MVP odds. The top 5 were quarterbacks. I think the 6th one was Christian McCaffrey. It's either Christian or Tyreek. But it's just like I don't know what a non-quarterback player would have to do to get the award. I mean, it's just I don't understand it. It really makes me mad. It makes me sad because we talk about football being a team sport, but yet we elevate one position so high above all the rest that we make it seem at times as if none of the other positions matter.
You're right though, because I mean, I'm looking at it now, updated today, and actually, it's even worse than that. Christian McCaffrey is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
That's crazy to me.
Yeah.
That's crazy to me.
And guess what? He's behind Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy is 7.
Brock Purdy's my guy, man. Like he's a competent quarterback. I'm still trying to figure out if he's a franchise quarterback, but he's a really good quarterback.
But see, this whole odds thing, it can't be real, man.
Dog, Vegas knows. If nobody else knows,
like 20th. He's ahead of Micah Parsons. He's like a plus 15,000, and Micah Parsons is a plus like 16,000.
I mean, again, Vegas knows. And if let's just say they keep Josh Dobbs as a starter,
and he gets them to the playoffs or something,
and they win the North.
Yeah,
I would bet at the end of the season he would probably be 5 or 6 in MVP odds.
That's wild. CJ Stroud is actually really an MVP. Like, I mean, if we want to talk about valuable, like last year that team won how many games? Like
3.
And yeah. So CJ Stroud is low key that one of those guys. So
facts.
But I digress. Right. What's next?
Let's jump into game of the week. Yes. Eagles Niners this weekend, big game. I'm excited to watch the game as a Niners fan because I do now. I'm not like the Niners who spent half the offseason crying about they should have won the game. Mm-hmm. But I do think that they had if Purdy does not get hurt, people forget because the final score was so lopsided and because they didn't have a quarterback for basically, I mean, listen, all due respect, Josh Johnson, he was the 4th-string quarterback. There's a limit, right, to how deep you can go into your quarterback room before it becomes detrimental. And the fact that they were able to get to QB3 and be in the NFC title game is unbelievable. But I do think if Purdy stays healthy that game, that they win. That game was close. Eagles scored a touchdown about maybe 3 minutes left before halftime to go up 14-7. Josh Johnson fumbles. Instead of just falling on the ball, he tries to pick it up. He can't get it. They score again. And at that point, the game was over. Yeah. Josh Johnson gets a concussion the first possession of the second half. And then they have to bring back Purdy in the game who couldn't throw the ball 3 feet. So I'm picking the Eagles to win the game, though. And it's not because
I'm doing the me thing.
No. It's not because I'm trying to do the pessimist thing. I think that, look, Howie Roseman has basically, I did the research on this. He has the most SEC talent on his team. I think it's 20. At least at the time I did the research. He had 20 SEC players on his team, led by, obviously, Jalen Hurts. But on the defensive side of the ball, he's got 2 monstars in Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis. Dog, when Jordan Davis got hurt on Sunday and he got up. So
I know you saw the sideline behind him. The players on the other team are behind him looking at him like, this dude is not, he's like built in a factory somewhere.
Listen, at Max Out, I saw Gerald McCoy. I never went up to like speak to him or anything like that. But I just looking at him walk around the room, and I'm like, that man like was a premier athlete. And 6'5", 6'6", probably 280, 300 something pounds, and could probably outrun all of us.
Yeah.
And all of our athletic primes, not just his. Yeah. He could probably outrun all of us. And Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis are like 2.0. Like they said, we want like Ndamukong Suh and Gerald McCoy, and we're just going to we're going to take their genes, and this is what we made. And it's just like
speed.
Dog, he was running step for step with Josh Allen. Like, dog, like unfreaking believable. So I think that their defensive line is the Niners interior is their weak point on that line. I think they're going to make life difficult for their run game and for their pass game. So again,
not me, man, not me. The luck stops here. The last 4 weeks, the Philadelphia Eagles have, found a way to win, which great teams, championship teams find a way to win. We know that. So I don't want to call it all luck or whatever. This is the first time I think I heard earlier today ever, or in a lot of years, that a team with one loss after like week 9 has gone into a game with their primary quarterback and been an underdog. And the Eagles are the 3.5, I think, 3.5 point underdog.
They bet it up. It was 1.5, so they bet it up to 3.
I think it's 3 now.
Wow.
Let me see. But I just think I don't like if I'm looking at. I know the Eagles are winning, but if I'm looking at how teams are playing, to me the 49ers are playing better than the Philadelphia Eagles. And I just think with what they've been able to do, I don't think they've needed a team to make mistakes, self-inflicted wounds to win games, the Eagles, right? I'm not talking about crazy plays on defense or whatever. I'm talking about drop balls. I'm talking about, interceptions thrown by Josh Allen, just different things like just boneheaded stuff to win games. And I don't think the 49ers are going to make those plays. And I just think that they're the better team right now. They're playing better. And I still think that the Eagles are probably going to end up with the 1 seed in the NFC because they've gotten through the first 3 games of this gauntlet. And for some reason, they kind of got the Cowboys number. And I don't know if they're going to turn around and beat the Cowboys. But they're favored in 4 of their last 6 matches, with the Cowboys and the Niners being the 2 games that they're not favored in. So it's a big game right here. Like this is for the Niners, this is like, you have to win this game if you think you're going to get the 1 seed, right? Because all the Eagles got left was the Cowboys and some bums.
Yeah.
So the Niners are going into this like, this is huge playoff implications on this game right here. and I just think the Niners come out and win the game.
Man, listen, like I want so I can't stand. What are you looking at?
Kentucky's up 30 on Miami now.
Oh wow,
Miami's
Yikes.
8th in the nation. Kentucky's 12. It was
Yikes.
close, like like it was like 36-32 or something like that. I was like, okay, now just look over. It's like 75-47.
Yikes. Listen, man, when his name is Elliott, Jake Elliott, when he made that field goal,
59-60 something.
I said they're winning the game. They're winning like that. Like I literally had the Breaking Bad meme. He can't keep getting away with it. Like, dog, like I don't have a problem. So I was on with Titus. Shout out from Titus from LTBR and Not the Experts. I did a podcast with him last night. He's an Eagles fan. And so I said, look, man, like Nick Sirianni is the Eli Apple of head coaches. Like he's a troll. Like he's annoying. And I'm like, they better win the title, because if they don't win the title, the slander is going to be epic because of how crazy, how he acted after the walking out of Arrowhead.
Oh, that was terrible.
I want the Niners to win to shut him up, if only for 1 week. If only for 1 week. To me, all the pressure's on the Niners. They have to win this game, like you said, because of home field, if they want to have a shot at it. And also because I think mentally they need to know if they see this team again that they can beat them. I think that does matter, knowing that we can beat this team if we're both at full strength, whatever full strength looks like.
They were talking about that on Speak the other day. Shady and Manuel Acho were talking about, they were talking about how like the Eagles look at the Cowboys. You know, they're like, yo, we don't care that you up here winning by 30 points against the Commanders and stuff like that. When we look at you like, oh, them, oh yeah, we whoop y'all ass every, you know, like, that's just what it is, you know. Like, and I think that the 49ers, like, they do need that confirmation that, like, yo, like, they believe we would have won last year. We would have, let's go show, you know, like it's a mental, it's a psyche. Like if they go in there and get whooped by the Eagles, and they,
yeah, man. So I mean, I do think they can win. And I listen, even though I'm picking the Eagles to win the game, just because I think that one matchup, I think they'll win. I think it's going to be a competitive game. It'll be a good game. I hope the Niners beat the brakes off of them, though. Like I feel like the Eagles need at least one of those this year, and it hasn't happened yet. Like you said, they made it through that.
That Jets thing was a fluke.
I mean, I would too. Have you seen the Jets? I would too. So, I mean, I feel like they need one of those good old-fashioned, but maybe it's going to be the Cowboys. Maybe the Cowboys get them at the end of that gauntlet, and they have to go to Dallas. Dallas did beat them last year, and I feel like they beat them without Dak. I don't think Dak played in that game. So, I mean, Dak has been playing at MVP level. He played great in that first game, right? Just a couple of things here and there didn't go their way. But man, so this is one of the final like big games of the season.
Yeah, so that's what I was gonna say. I think this is one of the final, you know, because the Chiefs really don't. I mean, we got the Bills, right? But I mean, and we got the Bengals and the Bills, but neither one of those Bengals with no Burrow.
I mean, look,
you're gonna have the Eagles Cowboys. Eagles Cowboys is gonna be a big game. Yep. And then you're gonna have the Detroit Lions. Do they play anybody?
Not of consequence.
Okay.
I mean, they still.
You're gonna have the Niners Seahawks one more time, right?
Yeah, man. Forget the Seahawks. They're gonna beat the crap out of them again, like they did the first time. Listen, I hate very few teams or people in sports, but they're at the top of the Koofy list, man. I can't stand Seattle. I have nothing nice to say. I don't normally talk crazy either, at least not publicly. I know we don't talk crazy about teams, but Seattle's one of those teams where like I don't have no problem saying y'all suck. You guys are trash.
I ain't mad at it.
Yeah, so let me look at the Lions schedule. I mean, no, they got Saints, Bears, Vikings. They play the Cowboys. That's gonna be a big one.
Lions, Cowboys, yeah, that's gonna be a real nice one.
That's gonna be a big one. So that's December 30th. But I need the Cowboys. I need the Niners to at least beat them to put some pressure on the Eagles to have to remain perfect. That makes that game against Dallas that following week have even greater stakes. Even though I don't think Dallas can't, even if they beat them, I think the Eagles will still hold the tiebreaker because they have the better conference record.
Yeah.
I think their divisional record will be the same at that point. So, but yeah, I need the Niners to win just to put some pressure on the Eagles to have to go perfect the rest of the way. Because that's what the Niners, if they want home field, that's what they are going to have to do. They cannot lose anymore. They got to win out. So y'all let us know what y'all think, man. Who y'all got? Eagles, Niners this weekend. Man, that's our show, man. We appreciate y'all rocking with us. We'll see if we'll be back next week. I'm not making any promises. You know,
we probably, man, if we can. Now the selection shows right after the conference championships, right? I mean, it's basically what is it? Tuesday?
No, it's Sunday.
It's Sunday?
I think it's normally Sunday. It's the day after the conference championship game. So I mean, it would have to probably be like a night show, right? Because I'm pretty sure we're watching football, and it would have to be either that or we could jump on like Instagram, and I have to figure out how to record it.
Okay, yeah, we'll figure that out. So, all right, man.
All right, so until next time, it's been a black
and white
thing, man. We'll holler at y'all next week. Remember, you can check us out by following us on all social media by searching at Brains and Bars, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Same for the YouTube and podcast app of your choice. Search at Brains and Bars. You can follow the show. Please rate, subscribe, like, hit the notification bells, and we'll holler at y'all maybe next week, maybe after this college football playoff and everything shakes out, and see who we got playing for the national championship. Y'all be easy.
Tune in live from the Gator Bowl.
Hey, listen. I've seen that he's either going to be LSU or Tennessee.
Let's go. We'll figure it out, man. All right.
We'll figure it out. All right, man. Yep.